Hello, this is Dr. Daniel Vanningen. Welcome to the Parenting Doctors show, specifically the Parenting Doctors podcast. So, first one this year, Happy New Year 2021. How do you build up your son or daughter while addressing negative behaviors? Reversing course if you have poured negative into your son's love cup, or if you have poured negative into your daughter's love cup. So in my conversations with parents everywhere, I've noticed a bridge between positive and negative, praising and correcting, strengthening and instructing. Of course, there's a role in all of these. I've noticed that we are honoring on birthdays, praising achievements, grades, goals, sports performance, and reinforcing positive character traits and behaviors. Yes, we want to praise effort and not ability. But I've noticed that there is a bridge between outcomes, positive outcomes, and negative outcomes. So we reinforce the positive outcomes. Very often, it's separate from addressing negative behaviors, like back-talking, swearing, non-compliance, bathroom towel refusals. How many parents have gone over and over on, hey, bathroom towels are meant to be hung back up, not one-time use, piled up in a pile in the bedroom floor, right? Smoking marijuana in the house, covering the cameras, lies, etc. Behavior after behavior. So the question is, how do you build up your son or daughter while addressing negative behaviors? First of all, we want to eliminate all poor communication problems as parents. We want to not be like a snake, but be like an eagle. An eagle flies up and takes perspective. So a healthy parent, a parent with EQ, emotional intelligence, is able to broaden their perspective. They're able to practice perspective broadening. So we want to have one eye on the current behavior problem and one eye, an eagle's eye, on the long-term character development of your son or daughter. Now, I'm going to give a hypothetical example of a situation where negative has been poured into the son's love cup. In other words, there has been a series of negative behaviors, in this example by the father. And how can he begin to reverse course and begin to start to pour positive into his son's love cup? How to speak positively while still addressing behavior problems. All right, so consider the following hypothetical example. All right, a father is constantly arguing with his teenage son who doesn't do his homework, right, his schoolwork. He smokes marijuana, and he's constantly lying to his father. Now, in the course of addressing these behaviors in the past, the father would say many negative things. The father would say, you're worthless, right? So what is the goal here? The goal is to eliminate saying he's worthless, right? To remove that parenting junk, just eliminate it, right? The father would bring up stuff from the past. That's what you said last time, right? You are constantly doing it. Look what happened 4 weeks ago. Look what happened 6 months ago. 2 years ago you said this, right? He would say negative. He would speak negative vows over his son. He would speak from a place of bitter root resentments over his son. He would speak things like, you'll never amount to anything. So what does the father need to do here? So again, he needs to reverse course. It's never too late. He needs to reverse course and begin to pour positive into his son's love cup. So the question is then, how do you address behavior problems? Let's say you realize that you've put a lot of poison into your son's belief system. You've put a lot of poison into his identity. And so there is time to reverse course. Look, if shame, and what is shame? Shame is I'm uniquely and fatally flawed. or in short, unworthiness. If the teenage boy in his identity built up beliefs about his unworthiness and carries shame, can the father reverse course? The answer is yes. The father can reverse course. He can begin to speak against shame. He can begin to speak goodness into his son's identity. Now, he can't do anything about the past. He cannot erase that. However, good can change what was harmed in the past. People heal. People change. New neural pathways can begin to extinguish the old neural pathways. Right? Shame can begin to be replaced by worthiness. Worthiness. And important positive beliefs can be reinforced by the father. The father can take time to reinforce positive beliefs that his son is important, that his son is significant, that his son is lovable, that his son is worthy. He can begin to reinforce positive beliefs and begin to form a new foundation. The new attachment relationship with his father can bring about incredible change. Look, the past does not define you. What you do now defines you. I mean, are there remnants? Are there effects? Are there going to be some negative remnants of past poison? Yeah, but look, people heal. People change. In his identity, a line can be drawn in the sand. So a father can begin anew, and his son's mind can be transformed. His son's mind can be renewed. His identity can be changed. And shame can be extinguished and can be replaced with a positive identity. An identity that says, I am important. I am significant. I am lovable. I am worthy. So what does a father do? Does this mean out of his own shame, because I was a rotten father, do I not address these behavior problems? The son's procrastination or schoolwork avoidance or his excessive marijuana use or his chronic lying or back-talking. No, he addresses the behavior problems. But how? You do it by reversing course. You do it by beginning to speak positive. So I'm going to talk specifically about how you can address some of these behavior problems, but still continuing to bridge that gap and continuing to speak good over the identity of your son. So again, we want to eliminate saying he's worthless. We don't want to bring up stuff from the past, right? We never want to say you'll never amount to anything, or bring up speak in negative. What we want to do is speak positive over our son's identity. We want to reinforce positive beliefs about himself. And specifically, what the father wants to do is speak specifically and directly about the behavior. So here are some examples. I'm just going to go through some examples of how he can begin to reinforce positive beliefs in his son while still addressing the behaviors. Look, John, you're going to do great things, but it has to start now. Look, John, I expect more of you. Like your effort here and here. John, you have a lot of worth. And what you're doing and what you're saying, it does not remove my love for you. My love for you is unconditional. But I expect more of you in terms of your behavior consistent with your goals. Look, John, I want to trust you more, but it starts now. It's important for the father to speak positives into his son. Look, this does not change your worthiness. You are worthy. Look, John, this does not change how much I love you. You are lovable. And you are so important to this family. John, look, I just want to get this out of the way. Listen, you have tremendous significance in my eyes. John, you are deeply valued by me. This does not change that. This does not change that. John, you are very important to me, your friends, and so many people. So the father, what he wants to do is focus on specifics. Never say who they are in a negative sense, only in a positive sense, and focus on specific behavior. So if you need to reverse course, say because you were dumping negative about their worth, it's time to rebuild. Things are not lost. You still need to address specific behaviors, but it's not over. People change. Attachments change. Kids are resilient. People heal from poison. People love reconciliation. They love transformation. It's time for us to believe in change. And this starts in the family and with dads. Do dads change? Absolutely. And it starts with how we speak over our children. So it's time to reverse course. Yes, we and for all parents, this podcast shows that we can still address specific behaviors while reinforcing who our son or daughter, who they are. They are significant, important, lovable, worthy. This is Dr. Daniel Van Ingen with this week's Parenting Podcast on how do you build up your son or daughter while addressing negative behaviors and reversing course if you have poured negative into your son's love cup identity.